Coming up next on CPT, hate crimes on campus, the college responds aggressively.
The pre-sex abuse scandal comes to campus as Curry showcases the Academy Award-winning film Spotlight.
And the late-night shuttle is shut down for a week. Find out why.
Curry Primetime Report begins right now. Hello, and welcome to Curry Primetime Report. I'm Brett Duffy.
And I'm Ashley Cafaro. Let's get straight to the headlines making news on campus. At least two buildings on campus have been hit with hateful messages discriminating against students, staff, and faculty. CPT's Chris Smith has been following the story and gives us the update.
In recent weeks, acts of hate have been scattered all around Curry College. One act was here in the Hafer Academic Building as it was graffitied right on this door.
I think it's really childish for the most part. I don't think it's right. I think it's completely wrong, and people need to just stop it in general.
This was the site of the other hate crime that happened here on the campus of Curry College, and it was written right here on this wall. On the wall read, "Burn the Jews." After the school later found out about it, they put this sign on the wall that said this was the site of racist, religious, and/or sexist vandalism.
To be honest, it was kind of scary. It didn't affect me so much, but I have a lot of residents on my floor that were definitely affected by it.
I'm Jewish, so yeah, it was just really scary. I've never experienced something like that before.
Although we could not get Dean Mary Ellen Kiley on camera, she was quoted saying this in a recent email to students. "Any and all bias-related acts are completely unacceptable. The college takes such matters very seriously and will not tolerate discriminatory behavior. Currently, an investigation to identify those who committed the crime is ongoing." For CPT, I'm Chris Smith.
Anyone who has knowledge of who did this can always use the anonymous tip line to help with the investigation. The number is 617-333-2159. Once again, 617-333-2159.
Early in the semester, Curry Theater also contributed to the discussion on discrimination when they presented the Laramie Project. This is the story of a gay teenager who was beaten to death because of his sexual orientation. CPT asked students across campus if they thought it was a good topic to cover.
I would go to it. Yeah, it seems like an important topic. It'll shed light on a tragedy, and it'll educate more people like myself who didn't know about it.
I think that's a great idea.
I mean, for awareness, it's all right. It's a good idea, I guess.
The Laramie Project played to packed audiences and created a lot of dialogue on campus.
The famous No Hate campaign visited Curry recently. Their message, be accepting of others no matter your race, orientation, or religion. Students who attended this campaign received a free photo shoot where they were able to put the No Hate logo on their cheek and duct tape on their mouth. This symbolized their voices being silenced by discriminatory legislation around the world.
The presidential race also tackled many aspects of discrimination, with some candidates expressing what some would consider hateful messages. CPT took to campus to see just who students are supporting in the important election this year.
Who are you supporting in the presidential campaign?
Bernie, I guess.
Why are you supporting Bernie Sanders?
I mean, he's really the only major party candidate who really is kind of tackling the fall of the Roman Republic scale issues and kind of inherent in the American society.
Supporting in the presidential campaign?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. Why are you supporting Donald Trump?
Because Mac Miller made a rap song about him, and he has a lot of good, strong information.
Campaign.
Hillary Clinton.
Why are you supporting Hillary Clinton?
Because I think she has the most experience.
Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders. Why are you supporting Bernie Sanders?
Well, I'm from Vermont, and I feel like his views on education and changing America away from corporate America is good for our country. So.
Trump, I like how he's pretty straightforward. He's aggressive. I like that.
I like Bernie Sanders.
Like Bernie Sanders? Why do you like Bernie Sanders?
I don't know, it seems like he's the only one that is trustful to me.
I am supporting Hillary Clinton.
Why are you supporting Hillary Clinton?
I figure she's very knowledgeable and very competent, would do a great job.
Well, Bernie Sanders, a lot of people don't understand, he's a democratic socialist, which means that he just believes in a better standard of living for everyone.
As of this taping, it appears that Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton will be facing Republican Donald Trump this November. Still to come on Curry Primetime Report. Why did the late night shuttle shut down for a week? The answer coming up.
It's the most stressful time of the year, finals. How are you preparing for the home stretch?
Energy drinks are highly popular amongst college students. Need to stay up to study all night for an exam? Sip on a few energy drinks, right? Wrong. Since 2004, a total of 34 deaths have been linked to energy drink consumptions, half of them occurring since late 2012. 2 or more of these beverages a day can lead to bad effects on the body. The main ingredients in these beverages is caffeine, like most commonly found in coffee. Negative effects associated with caffeine consumption and amounts of 400 milligrams or more include abnormal heart rhythms, which can lead to cardiac death. A typical 16-ounce drink can contain 80 grams of sugar. That's 20 teaspoons of sugar in one drink. Too much sugar consumption is a leading cause of obesity and diabetes. To get more information about the dangers of energy drinks, visit the U.S. Drug and Food Administration website at fda.gov. And please, think before you drink.
Welcome back to CPT. The late night shuttle was canceled for a week this semester when some students got unruly. A couple of students were not allowed on the last shuttle of the night, and one student forcibly took down the mirror on the bus. The college responded by canceling the shuttle for a week. There were no more reports of violence when the shuttle returned to operation after the 1 week of cancellation.
Public safety has been cracking down at stop signs around campus. Students who roll through the stop and not fully stopping have reportedly received warnings to come to a full stop. So be forewarned, always stop at the stop signs on campus.
In another story breaking from public safety, CPT has learned that Public Safety Chief Brian Greeley will be leaving the college at the end of May. We want to express our thanks to Chief Greeley for all his help over the years to CPT. He will be missed.
Yes, Chief Greeley has been truly great and we will miss him.
Good luck, Chief. Well, now it's time for our look at the college roundup. Things happening on other campuses. CPT's Sanjay Ture has what's happening. Sanjay?
The Endicott College campus is mourning over the death of a sophomore student in a car crash near campus. 19-year-old Craig Sampson was killed, and the 20-year-old driver Joseph Castano was seriously injured when their car crashed into a utility pole on Hale Street and Route 27, right outside of Endicott College. Police say that 2 men had to be extricated from the car before first responders could transport them to the hospital. Sampson was pronounced dead at Beverly Hospital. Castano was transported from Beverly to Leahy Hospital with severe injuries. A candlelight vigil will be held at the campus to remember Sampson. In other college news, there have been several cases where the outbreak of the mumps have occurred at various Massachusetts colleges. At the Harvard University, cases have risen up to 9 students. 3 Boston University students have been confirmed to come down with the viral illness. It was said that one of these students had come back from spring break with the illness. All 3 students were asked to isolate themselves for no less than 5 days. Bentley University and Weymouth High School were also places that have been affected by the outbreak. Some symptoms of the mumps illness you should look out for are the following: fever, fatigue, lack of appetite, jaw pain, and earache. The isolation period for mumps ranges from 12 to 25 days after the infection. Individuals are likely infectious at 5 days before they begin showing swelling of the salivary glands and remain contagious after 5 days thereafter. Most people with mumps recover completely within a few weeks. Chaos broke out at Bridgewater State's spring weekend Saturday, April 23rd, according to police. Students were publicly urinating, running onto MBTA tracks, which slowed down the commuter rail trains. More than 50 students were arrested. When police officers tried to arrest one man in the middle of the lawn party, beer cans were thrown at police officers. No officers were harmed, but police are asking for help to identify the culprits who were responsible for throwing the beer cans. And finally, in our roundup, Harvard University will have a very special student starting school in the fall of 2017, Malia Obama. Malia, the oldest daughter of President Obama, chose Harvard over many other Ivy League level colleges. Malia plans to take a gap year or a year off before attending Harvard. Malia, welcome to Beantown. That is it for our college roundup. I'm Sanjay. Ashley, over to you.
Thanks, Sanjay. Some big news from Curry's communication program as our own CPT newscast and Curry short film Reflexivity were named the best in the country in their categories. The awards were handed out at the National Electronic Media Awards Show in Los Angeles in March. And just recently, Reflexivity was also awarded a Student Emmy Award for Best Short Fiction Film. That award will be handed out at June at the Boston New England Emmy Awards. Congratulations to all the students involved in both CPT and Reflexivity.
The award-winning film Spotlight about the pre-sexual abuse in Boston was screened at Curry recently. Following the screening, a panel discussion featuring a Boston Globe reporter who worked on the original story. As CPT Kylie Farrell reports, the reporter said the movie was pretty accurate.
The Keith Auditorium quickly filled with Curry students and faculty as they waited for the free screening of the Academy Award-winning film, Spotlight. Former Boston Globe Spotlight editor Walter Robinson made an appearance at Curry, giving students an even better understanding of how the Boston Globe uncovered decades of abuse in the Catholic Church.
Robinson spoke to his audience today with a little bit of humor, saying that there was only few differences in the movie Spotlight versus what really happened in real life. But the biggest and probably the funniest difference has to do with the character who played him, Michael Keaton. Michael wore all name brand and very expensive clothes throughout the entire movie, and the difference with that is Robinson only shops at the clearance sale at Macy's.
Robinson also spoke about how briefly the scenes were shown, leading the audience to believe crucial scenes only took minutes to complete, when realistically, it took over 2 weeks. What was a major difference that Walter Robinson spoke about that happened in real life that was portrayed a little differently in the movie Spotlight?
One of the biggest things was that he said that the main guy where he was trying to get his last source from, he said that the movie made it one guy when in the end, well, not in the end, but in real life, it was actually 6 different lawyers where he was trying to get his source from, not just one lawyer.
To this day, Robinson is still in touch with the members of the Boston Globe Spotlight team. Reporting for CC8, I'm Kylie Farrell.
Spotlight can be seen on demand or on DVD.
Well, we're in the last stages of the semester.
And we want to know how you're getting ready for finals. CPT took to campus to find out.
I mean, I plan on just being in the library a lot, just looking over a lot of my notes. Most of my classes just have projects, so once I finish my projects, I should be all set.
I'm just studying like really hard, just like setting up my schedule for what I'm going to do to prepare myself.
Studying, printing out review sheets, I go in for office hours, extra help.
Sit down in the library, really look through my notes.
I'm getting ready by making outlines and flashcards and stuff like that, studying in the library.
I'm preparing to see when my finals are as of right now, and then I'm going to study extra hard.
Being in the library all the time, and there for hours.
Putting study guides together and studying in the library.
I've been manage my time, so I have no finals till Thursday and Friday.
Grind time in the library, baby.
So stressful right now.
I know, and you and I have to look for jobs too. Well, still ahead on CPT, we'll wrap up spring sports.
And we took to campus to find out your plans for this summer. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Nick Foy. I know all of us get distracted by our phones. My phone has occasionally gotten me into trouble. I've accidentally walked right into someone while texting and driving. This phone is one of the biggest distractions in my life. I like to text everywhere, in my bed, on my couch, secretly in class. I always feel like I have to text everyone to stay connected. While I'm texting, I don't have the best attention span in the world. While I didn't hurt anyone texting and walking, it could have been much worse if I was texting and driving. Imagine how badly I could have hurt myself if I kept my eyes off the road and on my phone. I would end up in the hospital with insane medical bills, along with a car headed to the junkyard. According to distraction.gov, around 3,000 people are killed in car crashes involving distracted drivers annually. Is a text message really worth someone's life? Your friends and family will still love you if you don't reply to their text while driving. If you really have to text, please don't get in a car. Throw those keys away. There's nothing wrong with texting as long as you text responsibly. For more information on texting and driving, please visit distraction.gov.
Welcome back to CBT. As mentioned in our last broadcast, Curry's commencement speaker is Connecticut Governor Daniel Malloy. The governor has just won in the Profile Courage Award from the JFK Library and has been very public about his own challenges with ADHD. He should make for a great speaker on Sunday, May 22nd.
And right before commencement, seniors will have their Senior Week festivities. CPT's Brandon Enroth joins us in the studio with more. Brandon?
Thanks, Brett. As the Curry College class of 2016 approaches their final examination period of their undergrad careers, many of the students have their minds focused on a yearly event that happens following the conclusion of finals, Senior Week. Senior Week is a sponsored event by the college that takes place every year for the graduating class during the week before graduation. Senior students stay on campus with their classmates the entire week, participating in mandatory activities or field trips set up by the Office of Student Activities. Many of the highlights of the week include the Spirit of Boston boat cruise on the Charles River, Foxwoods Casino and Resort, and Toby Keith's I Love This Bar and Grill. Seniors had to pay $300 total to attend Senior Week, and final payment for Senior Week was due on March 25th. Those students who have submitted their deposits have begun asking around to find roommates for the week when seniors dominate the halls of SCRH and suites. Seniors will find out whom they will be living with during finals week. They will receive an email from Residence Life informing them where they will be living, who they'll be living with, as well as check-in information. Senior Week starts on Tuesday, May 17th and runs until Saturday, May 21st. It should be a great week before all the seniors say their final goodbyes and go their separate ways following graduation. For Curry Primetime Report, I'm Brandon Enroth. Brett, Ashley, back to you.
Can't wait for that. I hope the weather's good.
Our chief weather forecaster, Joe Shaka, is here with his summer forecast and a look at the upcoming hurricane season. Joe?
Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Ashley. Well, it's that time of year again. We're going into summer, and a lot of people are wondering, what kind of weather are we going to see this summer compared to the last several summers? Well, I think this summer is going to be quite different, actually, than the past couple of summers. Let's take a look. Here is what I'm thinking of temperature-wise for the Northeast for the month of June. You can see here much warmer than average temperatures, and these colors here are a degree Celsius above normal, or in the blue case, a degree below. So here in the Northeast, we are about 2 to 3 Celsius above normal for the temperatures as we head in the month of June. But if you notice in the Midwestern plains, where we've had a lot of rain over the past couple months, it looks like we'll see our highest chance of below normal temperatures in the plains. As we advance our way into the month of July, what I expect to see is again a continuation of above normal temperatures here, especially in the Northeast and Great Lakes, and the continuation of slightly below normal temperatures in the plains, and then above average temperatures elsewhere in the country. As we move in the month of August, here's what it looks like for the month of August, a continuation of above average temperatures to much above average temperatures for much of the U.S., with continuation of some cooler than average temperatures in the plains. And why is this so different than the last couple of summers? Well, this summer we're going from an El Nino to a La Nina. What an El Nino is that water temperatures that are much warmer than average near the equator in the Central Pacific and much cooler in the Atlantic. Now as we flip to the La Nina, we're going to basically see a reversal of that. So we're going to see much cooler than average waters in the Central Pacific near the equator. And then deep in the Atlantic basin, we're going to see much warmer than average temperatures. So that flip usually means a lot of heat in the Northeast and Great Lakes of the U.S. Now as we take a look at the precipitation over the course of the summer months, which is June, July, and August, I think that here in the Northeast, especially here in eastern New England, we have a relatively good chance of well below normal precipitation. Again here, this color and shading of brown here is 2 to 3 inches below normal for that 3-month period. So certainly I am concerned about a more intensifying drought as we work through the summer with the combination of warmer than average temperatures. And finally, a look at the 2016 hurricane season across the Atlantic Basin. Well, I think it's going to be an active season with that transition from an El Nino to a La Nina. So here's what I am thinking for the year. I'm thinking 17 to 22 named storms, 6 to 9 of these becoming hurricanes, and yes, 4 to 6 of these becoming major hurricanes, which are Category 3 to Category 5 on the Saffir-Simpson scale. And to bring back memories, we've already seen our first hurricane of the year. That was in the first week of January. That was Hurricane Alex. Alex became a Category 2 hurricane in the far northern Atlantic, so we already have one hurricane in the books for the year. I'm Curry College Chief Weather Forecaster Joe Shaka for CC8.
That's scary how many storms are expected.
At least it looks like a nice hot summer. I like that. Yeah. Let's send it over to our own boy of summer, Alan Checo, for a wrap-up of spring sports.
Thanks, Brett and Ashley. It has been a tough season for the Curry College men's tennis team. They went 0-8 in all conference games and had a 1-19 overall record by end of the season. We hope that next year things turn around. It's time to prepare for the next year, boys. The men's lacrosse team had a bounce-back year compared to last year. They had a 4-12 record last year, and this year went 2-6 in conference games and 10-6 in overall. Also, congrats to sophomore Steve Grogan for being named the Commonwealth Coast Conference All-Team. CPT Chris Smith got to a midseason game against Becker and follows this report.
The Curry Colonels took on Becker College for their last game of non-conference play on Friday. We get things going not even a minute into the game when Jeff Yates gets this pass from Matt Serra and puts it away for the score. It's 1-0 Curry just like that. Then, shortly after, Matt Serra decides to get in the scoring side of things with this snipe here. Curry takes a 2-0 lead. And just a minute after Becker scores, Brandon Flame responds with this rebound and score. It's now 3-1 Curry. Now watch this play here by Ryan Ofgant as he gets the steal in the defensive end and takes it all the way before dishing it off to Jeff Yates for the score. Curry is rolling and it is now 7-1 Colonels. Yates would finish with a hat trick as Curry goes on to win this one 17-5, having 11 different guys score, and Curry is now 8-0 on the season. Here's head coach Tim Murphy on how it all happened.
You know, our offense works on a team-first mentality. You know, any given day, any guy can have a great game. You know, our guys have done a great job so far, sticking to the game plan, not really taking it in any one of our contests so far and tried to put the whole world on their shoulders. They're happy to share the ball and work together with their teammates, which is helping us get as many goals as we've been scoring so far this year.
The women's lacrosse team also had a pretty successful season. They went 3-5 in conference games and 10-8 on their overall record. They made the playoffs but got eliminated in the first round by University of New England. They will participate next Wednesday, May 11th, in the ECAC tournament. Good luck, ladies. Early in this season, CPT Cafaro saw the ladies Cardinals in action against Simmons a few weeks ago and offers this report.
Tonight, the Curry Colonels set out to play the Simmons Sharks in hopes to keep their 3-game winning streak alive. The Sharks and Colonels were head-to-head for the majority of the first half, but it wasn't long until Curry was finally able to find the back of the net.
Curry women's lacrosse was off to a little bit of a slow start this evening. However, they were finally able to find that intensity and connect with one another, and are now leading the Simmons Sharks 8-4 at halftime.
Sophomore Brooke Harrington was a threat on defense for the Colonels, and junior attacker Kelly Parker led Curry with a career high of 7 goals to lead them to a 19-8 victory. Coach Caitlin Roberts and Captain Alexis Gran have seemed to take a lot of positives away from tonight's game, especially how every single person on and off the field contributes and how they all play 12 as one.
They play like a team. We got everybody into this game. You can't tell, you know, our starters from our subs. They all give 110% every single day.
We just connect on the field. We play together all the time, and I think we play 12 as one through defense, through offense, and everything shows. We just communicate so well and just play together like perfectly. And this game definitely showed a huge win, and we're so pumped to take on our next game. And I don't know, I can't wait to see what the rest of the season has in store for us.
Reporting for CC8, I'm Kylie Farrell.
In softball, the girls had a tough season this year. They went 4-14 in conference games and went 13-23 in the overall record. I believe it was a rebuilding year for them. Next year, they will be back better and with more experience. And finally, the defending Commonwealth Conference baseball champs have had a tough season so far. They went 6-10 in conference games and 12-22 in the overall record. They recently just made the playoffs as the 6th seed. As of this taping, they will play the 1st seed, Western New England, Thursday, May 5th. This is where it all starts, boys. We will hope they can bounce back and repeat what they did last year. Good luck, boys. To follow all playoff runs, be sure to check the CCA message board where we will update you on any upcoming games. I am Alan Checo with CCA Sports.
Thanks, Alan. For some of us, it's now time to start looking for work.
But for many of you, you have other plans for the summer, as CPT found out.
For summer?
For summer, just hanging out with friends.
Just hanging out with friends.
Playing a lot of street hockey and work and trying to make some money and stuff.
I have 2 jobs. I'm a host at TGI Fridays and I work at McDonald's.
Okay. Is that all you're doing? You got no special plans?
I'm taking some classes too.
Taking some classes.
Summer class work and just
working at a job.
I hope to get a job because I'm in the nursing program, so.
You want to get a job in the nursing field?
Yeah.
Are you a senior or?
I'm a sophomore.
You're a sophomore now? Do you have any other special plans, like vacation or anything?
Probably go spend time with my grandparents in Toronto.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
So, yeah, that's about it.
I can't believe we're graduating.
Me either. I'm in denial. But for all of you, I hope you have a great summer.
And good luck with finals. And good luck to all graduating seniors. We hope life treats you well.
See you later.